Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of XR Talk Show. Today is 2019, December 24th, the eve of Christmas, Tuesday, 2 o'clock p.m. San Francisco time. How are you guys? So let's get on business. So we're gonna talk about a bunch of things. We're gonna talk about Emacs demo. I'm going to show you a demonstration of Emacs of a fantastic, most efficient command. Then I'm going to do Emacs Lisp coding, live coding plus tutorial. I want to modify that command because it's got a minor problem. So that's Emacs and Emacs Lisp. Then I'm gonna tell you something. Then basically we're gonna chat random something about. There is a topic about hermit mathematicians or hermit programmers. Typically, they live in poverty, kind of like me and you guys. They are uh, fringe, okay, but they are great mathematicians and programmers. Then we're gonna talk about sundry other things and George and Alan stuff. So let's begin with George. There's some initiative, okay, created by George and Alan. Thank you guys. So you don't know how hard it is to do a live stream. Okay, you guys try to create a live stream channel and do live stream every day for an hour, and you see how hard it is. Well, it's not that hard, but it does take a lot of time. Let's see. Wait, am I talking with muted? No. And am I alive? Yes, I'm alive. Okay, that's good. So you have to check on that. As you do live stream, you get more experience on this modern technology. These tricks and knobs, and you have to make sure they are correct or something went wrong. And audios and videos. But okay, and join Discord. Okay, the wonderful and fantastic Discord. You see, Emily is here. Is Emily alive? No, Emily is not on. Okay, and so let me show you something. Okay, my body. I have a body. You have a body. I have one body, and you have one body. Everybody has a body. This is my key to the apartment. This is Nerd's way of key, so I don't get lost. So George began. Good morning to Australia, George. George began a programming challenge, and looks like it's a success. So the programming challenge here is that, first of all, you guys need to join Discord. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Discord, you go to you just search Xali Discord, you'll find the link. Okay, but let me just paste it. So Discord, there you join, and vibrant discussions, colorful nerds, and bright people. Okay, join Xali Discord. Okay, so George, an illustrious member of our community, he created a programming challenge channel. So here, the problem is that we're gonna post programming problems, and then each of us can go and code it. We can use your favorite language: JavaScript, Golang, Perl, Ruby, Python, or Java, or Clojure, or Lisp, Emacs Lisp, or Common Lisp, or Scheme Lisp, or Racket, or fancy languages such as Haskell, OCaml, Idris, Elm, Erlang. All languages. You can use your favorite language to code this problem. And so George has began posting a problem about generating English words, generating new words. Okay, and we already have a solution. I was surprised by kittens in Ruby. Okay, so join Discord and look at the problems and let's code it. Okay, and we also, so Alan is going to do a Golang solution. Did Okay, so it looks like okay, Alan already done it. Oh, okay. So the plan is that I'm going to look at the solutions and run them, and but I'm hoping that I'm not going to be the only one doing this because you don't know how hard it is to do these kind of things. So I'm hoping some of you, George or Alan or any one of you, will sometimes when some coding problems, you will be the judge. Like what you're gonna do? So you're gonna look at all the solutions. You're gonna run them. You're gonna compare them, like how creative they are, which one is incorrect, which one is good, elegant code, things like that. Then you have to run them, compile it if necessary, if it's C or C++, for example. So and then we talk about it and we have fun. Like we are going to have prices. The price is one banana. Okay. Yeah. So things like that. So this is a programming challenge, and I hope So, I don't know how it's gonna be done yet. Like maybe once a week or something. In the beginning, I guess I'm going to comment on it, run all the programs. I cannot run all the programs because when you do this, you have to let me tell you, let me complain about the work you have to do. You have to know if you're gonna judge, if I'm going to judge this program solution. So first of all, you're gonna ask people. So George already did it. You have to talk to people to get them interested, so they're gonna code. If you just pose a problem, oh, I think this is a great problem, let's code it, nobody's going to do it. You have to like instigate people to do it. Then once all the solution comes, many of them, they'll if you don't word it carefully, if you don't shape, talk to people, then you're gonna get lots of solutions that doesn't work, that doesn't compile, or missing libraries, or things like that. So you're gonna spend hours, just then you have to tell the person, oh, your code has problem. Then he's gonna say, oh no, it runs on my computer. Then you got a problem. Basically, you're gonna spend hours on grading these solutions, and you have to talk to people. Then okay, then the other thing is you have to download each programming language. You have to compile it. So it's not it's not if you do it once in a while, it's great, but it does take some time to do it. So I'm hoping somehow you guys gonna run it as well. We can have you guys go on to your own YouTube stream if you want to create one, or something like we can talk together. Like it's possible I give you my live stream key. So for example, next week you're gonna run a show. You're gonna run a talk show. You're gonna lead it. So and I'm gonna be watching you. So and also you can do it on your own YouTube stream if you want to. That would be fun. So that is about the programming challenge. And also, you see, I know because I'm old, so I know a few languages. I know Python, Ruby, Perl, Java. I can run. I can compile. Although I cannot criticize it too much. I don't know Java well. So I know a few. Clojure, uh, Golang, JavaScript, Emacs, for example. But I do not know Erlang. I do not know Haskell. I can barely know OCaml. Okay, so but people here, once you post a question, all sort of programs will come in. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna install. You have to install them. So I cannot do all that. I can just do these five also programming languages I mentioned. The other ones I can simply, usually what I do is I just post on my website, okay, here's another solution of Haskell, and let other people who read the page judge it or run it, things like that. So anyway, that is about the programming challenge. Interesting problems. Okay, so that's on Discord. So I think maybe we're gonna talk about this. Today is Tuesday, so maybe on the weekend we're gonna talk about it. And also, we have we have interesting people here. Susan, he codes COBOL. Oh my God, COBOL. Okay, COBOL guys, he code COBOL. Now you see, so we have interesting collection of people here. Let me show you his COBOL code. Okay, wait. I need to get connected to people. So what things are you saying? Let's pop out the chat. Okay, keep the comments coming. Okay, so let me show you the COBOL code. Can you guys see it? Let's see. Okay, yeah. So COBOL. So let's see. So we did this live stream in December 21st. Okay, M time, which is number systems and clock system. You want to convert 24-hour clock into a 36-hour clock system. 36 hours, 36 minutes per hour, 36 seconds per minute. Then you have to write that in a hexamal notation or hexamal or scenario notation. So this is actually not that trivial a problem. In theory, it takes 10 minutes to code, but none of us take 10 minutes. Even Emily, who has programmed her clock in this notation. And in fact, all the solutions are incorrect. All the solutions people gave are incorrect until we had to fix it a couple of times. So anyway, here is a COBOL code. Okay, so this is COBOL. I've never seen COBOL code before, and I haven't run it yet. I need to install it. So, but anyway, there's a COBOL code. Season is usually not on my live stream chat, or maybe he's lurking, but he is on Discord. Uh, and so we got this weird COBOL code. So that's about programming challenge. Okay, so that's one thing. And the other thing, difficulties about creating a live stream the way I do is that I go on every day, almost every day. I talk, I talk show, so talk show, talk. I talk for an hour, and usually in a haphazard way. So there is no coherent structure or topics. Usually there's like a two or three topics, but it's not it's not precisely segmented. So one of the problem with my talk show, I'm not getting popular. Most other people, when they do a YouTuber, YouTubers, they have a goal, and they after a year they have 10,000 followers. Me, after a year, I have 1,000 followers. Okay, they after a year, they got 500,000 followers, and then 1 million followers in 2 years. Many of them in 2 years, you got 1 million followers. Um, I'm not getting into that because I kind of know why. Because I don't have a I don't aim for that. But anyway, so each video I have like 100 or 200 views. But what's my point? Okay, my point is that it's actually very time consuming. So one of the things I would like is to have timestamps so that people can, or I can, or you guys can, feel free to do it. Create a clip of 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes where I talk about some topic. For example, many of the popular YouTubers, they have a separate channel that is that is clips of the cream of some interview or something. So in modern society, we are all busy. We don't know who the fuck they are. You just go on YouTube. You don't want to sit through. Oh, this video is 1 hour. You are not going to watch it, but rather you want a clickbait. When you see, oh, girls, boobs, then you click on that. That's a condition of us created by corporations. So anyway, so you have clips, 5 minutes on some particular topic. So that really drives traffic, and that is actually, I mean that's part of communication. That's it's like books. You have chapters and sections. That's the purpose of organizing them. So that would be a good thing. But so what I need is to have timestamps. A lot of people have asked me for that on my video because I talk for 90 minutes. So people want timestamps. Like at this time, I talked about Richard Stallman. At that time, about my ideas about the world affairs, things like that. So we need that. So if you are watching my video, uh, if you are watching my video, feel free, do. I would like it. I would appreciate if you know, post the timestamps. And Alan has created a GitHub for this precise reason. So Alan, thank you, Alan. So Alan watches a lot of my videos and helps me doing things. So Alan has created this GitHub page that is the ideal situation is that we're gonna have a index of all my topics. Like you can search by topic and see see what I say about that. Okay, so Alan created this GitHub page, and you can go there and help out. Okay, yeah, leave YouTube comments, yes, and if you watch off hours, yeah, leave YouTube comments on timestamps on things you find interesting, or you can contribute to this GitHub webpage as well. So the link is going to be on my YouTube description. Actually, in the YouTube description right now, you can click a link, then you'll see my today's talk show page. Like I have a corresponding page on my xali.info website, which is this page for today's video. So you can go there and you'll find Alan's link here. So that's about that. So that's about programming challenge, and then about the timestamp of videos. Okay, that's true thing. What is the next thing? The next thing is I'm going to get money in my pocket. Okay, so I talked about this yesterday and 2 days before. I bought this drive, so external hard drive. Actually, so because I went to Costco with my roommate. You guys know what is Costco? It's a great giant warehouse in United States. Good morning, Justin Scarfi. Justin Scarfi, you sent me an email yesterday. Can I talk about that, Justin? Uh, so because that's interesting, very interesting things you've done. Anyway, so Costco, a lot of people. I mean, if you are outside of USA, you don't know what is Costco. So Costco, let me show you. Okay, it's a giant warehouse in USA where you go there and buy stuff. They have arrays of food and all the wonderful things in life. Okay, turn on JavaScript. Costco. I want to see pictures. Let me show you pictures. Okay. So Costco, it looks like that. That's a store up. That's the outside. That's how it looks like. Costco, where wholesale. Okay, so things there are usually cheaper. And let me show you inside. Okay, so this is USA, United States of America. You see, array. This is actually small. It's bigger than this. Arrays of food and other things, and fantastic, phantasmagorical. Yeah, you have racks and arrays of them, and their arrays beginning at 1. Okay, just like mathematicians. Okay, not 0. Stupid programmers with the 0. C++. Uh, some of you C and C++ hackers. So I had to turn off JavaScript. Yes, indeed. So Costco. So my roommate, we went there, and and they have this hard disk. So I just bought it. Because I need a backup drive for a year now. So what the heck, I just bought it. So you can buy it, but today I think you guys are probably more interested in flash drive, which is faster. Okay, so I tested the speed of these, which is, there's one thing interesting. Anyway, so if you are transferring a giant file like movie files, like 1 GB, 2 GB to this from my Mac, the speed is 130 megabytes per second. That's about the maximum. But however, you see, the interesting thing about this is that about this external drive is that if your files are small, like programming files, like you have thousands of them, 10,000, 100,000 of them, your speed is gonna be like 100 kilobytes a second. Yeah, that's an interesting issue about transferring speed. So anyway, so they also have external flash drive. So this is gonna be the future, more or less, flash drive instead of the spinning disk. And they are 3 times, 4 times, 5 times faster than a spinning disk. Okay, so you guys go buy it. Okay, so let me post the link. XR Talk Show Index. Okay, so actually, let's go to today's talk show. Then we're gonna do Emacs, I guess. So you can find the link there. Justin Scarfi, are you still there? Like, talk, answer. So I've been looking at disk drives in the past 30 years. I'm a nerd, a tech geeker, just like you guys. So I've observed the technology of hard drives, how they change. And I buy them, of course. At least when I had money, you buy them every year, every 2 or 3 years. They upgrade. Over the past 30 years, the interface changed. Then USB came up around 1999 by Steve Jobs. Okay, that's another innovation from Apple. Steve Jobs, and not just from Apple, from Steve Jobs specifically. Once Steve Jobs is gone, Apple is like is basically no good. Steve Jobs. So he introduced the USB, and there's a fire wire and lots of the connection technologies. So I observed them. Then USB becomes USB 2, then USB 3, then you have USB, the plugs, you have USB C plug, which is today. All the changes in technology, exponential growth, that's what it is. So one of the interesting, and remember, in 20 years ago, it used to be writable DVDs. You buy a stack of writable DVDs, CDs. I don't. I have a CD somewhere here. Okay, so you buy a stack. That's how you store stuff. But anyway, with flash drive, one of the question I have is if you want storage for archive purposes, is the flash drive more permanent than the hard disk? The electromagnetic drive. And so I did some reading or research, as you call it, and I think the answer is that it depends. Okay, there's no absolute answer. I mean, the question is, if you want a storage that you're gonna put away for 10 years, which one is better, spinning disk or the flash drive? So the answer to that is it depends. There's no absolute question. So it's not really a technology issue. It's rather about much of many other details. So which means you can buy and trust a flash drive today. I think it's gonna be, the hard drive is it will go away sooner or later. In 5 years, in 10 years, it's gonna be a dead technology. Somewhat. Okay, actually not. That's not totally true. But so anyway, that's about drives. So let's see what's the next topic. Okay, so what's the next topic? Should we start to, okay, so there are two more topics. One is doing Emacs demo and Emacs Lisp coding and tutorial. Or the other topic is I'm going to talk about some hermit, fringe, or poor programmers and mathematicians. They live on the fringe of society, but they have done great work. So which one should I talk about first? So I need you guys' input. Like I need interaction. Say it in the chat. So we got 11 people watching. Okay, type in the chat which topic next. So I know that I'm alive and you are alive and you are listening. Okay, so Costco, close it. Uh, George says hermits. Okay, great, great, George. Hermit. Okay, so let's talk about hermits, hermit mathematicians. Some of them have done the greatest work. More specifically, mathematicians. Okay, so let me show you two of them. Actually, this guy I talked about one or two times before. Hey, good morning, Matt. And who else is here? Bart is here. Good morning, Bart. Good morning, Magpie. Good morning to Nicaragua. Magpie says it tastes better than it looks. One of my favorite things to do around this time is torment people with my food pictures. My food pictures. Uh, good morning, Ripper, and good morning, Bart. 选报 says Elegram. 选报 Elegram says, Hi Xa, do you follow Taiwan election? Love to hear from another nerd on that. Taiwan election. No, I haven't followed Taiwan politics. So I was born in Taiwan. I grew up there until I was 14. Um, I have a bad family, kind of very chaotic family, and it's all messed up. And I basically Taiwan. I have been alienated, or I alienated Taiwan. Politics, there's a lot of politics. Well, part of it is because politics, part of it because my family. So I don't haven't read much about Taiwan. And well, politics. Taiwan is very is I would say used by USA. Okay, so anyway, so it's a hard thing to talk about. So do I follow Taiwan election? Well, the one election I know is about 10 years ago. Chen Shui-bian, okay, that guy who is turns out he is corrupt and steal money, 100 millions or 100 millions, and he's in jail, and that's the only election I've kind of know a bit about. And now I heard so Taiwan has got this female president, just like the USA's chanting of it. Anyway, so I don't know. I don't know much about Taiwan. There is one thing I know that of a great Taiwan person, and you are in, you are in Taiwan, right? 你也是台湾人，他就是李敖，李敖是我最敬佩的一个人。So there is this guy whose name is Li Ao. Okay, so for you foreigners, you wouldn't know much about it. And he's got a Wikipedia entry, but the Wikipedia entry doesn't have much information. So his name is Li Ao. Okay, so let me show you. He is, I would say, the greatest historian, the greatest Chinese historian in the entire history of China, of the 3,000 or 5,000 years history of China. He is the greatest. Okay, that is my opinion. That is also his own opinion. He's this kind of a braggadocio guy. So he writes, he's also the most prolific, probably top 10 in the entire history of China, the most prolific writer. and primarily he's a historian. So this guy is one of, let's say, one of the three greatest writer I respect in my life, or greatest author, including English or whatever language. So he's one of them. The other one would be Bertrand Russell and Camille Paglia, more or less. Okay, it's hard to pick precisely what's your top three, but basically these three person: Bertrand Russell, a logician and a pacifist, and also a writer. Okay, Bertrand Russell, the British guy, and Camille Paglia, who is still around. You can see her on YouTube. Camille Paglia, who is the greatest, in my opinion. I like her. Okay, so basically these three are my most favorite authors I respect. The third one, or what? Well, one of them is Liao. Liao, he doesn't write in English, so all his writings is in Chinese. So, that's what I know about Taiwan. I don't know much about it now. So, okay, so you can read on his Wikipedia. This English version, they don't have much information. Like if you believe what I said, he's the greatest historian in the entire history of China. But then on his Wikipedia English version, you got just 3 pages, three screen. That's not because why? I can tell you why. Because okay, this is gonna be about politics. Now my video is gonna be more popular because once you talk about dramatic stuff, people, all the people, drama. Let's do clickbait. Okay, let's do rant and clickbait. The condition of the fucking Twitter created. So Liao, so why in English literature you don't hear much about Liao? Let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you my own perspective, which is anti-USA with respect to this topic. By the way, I'm a US citizen. Okay, I'm American. So America wants to control. America control. We control all the world. We are, some would say bullies, especially today. The social justice warriors, this gang, this group, they don't like American flags. They are this extreme group. So, but anyway, one of the things they say is that USA, which I think is true. Okay, USA, you being the greatest bully in the world in the past 100 years. We bomb or we do whatever we can to control other countries in the Middle East, in China, in Russia. We do whatever. Today the Democratic Party every day is like, oh, Russian is trying to affect our election. Give me a motherfucking crap. Okay, fuck those Democratic fuck. USA is meddling with all other countries every day. You know, so one of the hot topic is Hong Kong. USA been sending billions, literally billions of dollars to Hong Kong, to to people who doesn't agree with China government. Okay, so USA is doing that. Why? Because USA want it would be great if China split into several countries. So USA remains the most powerful. That is why. Okay, that is the issue. Period. You don't know this. I can give you a lot of factual information. You just go to all these political things. Most people they don't pay attention. They don't want to look for it. They just want to believe. In fact, for most Americans, they just, oh, USA, oh, democracy, oh, China is no democracy, therefore we support Hong Kong. That's what they do. They don't really actually care to look for fact or truth. Anyway, so there's this organization, and you can you can look. Okay, I'm not going to give you details about it, but if you really want to, you already know these details. Okay, so anyway, so USA is for democracy, right? Human rights, democracy. We want that everywhere. Okay. Now, in 1990s, in 1980s, and 1970s, when when Taiwan is ruled by Kuomintang, okay, Kuomintang. In English, you say Kuomintang, okay. That is the party who nationalist. Kuomintang is a nationalist party against the Communist Party, China. So they lost the civil war. They escaped to Taiwan. So they hold the Taiwan and they control all Taiwan, right? Which is where I came from. My dad and my granddad. My granddad is part of the Kuomintang, a soldier, kind of a general of some sort. So, but we lost the civil war, so we escaped to Taiwan and we control Taiwan. But it's not democracy, man. Democracy, my ass. The Kuomintang control Taiwan and they rule. They've done bad things to the Taiwan people. Now, Taiwan people is a very complex idea. Okay, so you have natives like the American native Indians. That's Taiwan people. Then you have Taiwan people, which is not the natives, but who lives in Taiwan. Okay. Then you have the people from China who moved to Taiwan, like me. We are also Taiwan people. So when you say Taiwan people, it kind of means a lot of things. And also on Twitter or on online forums, when in heated debates, the people don't know what they mean. You just push for whatever you like it to be. So anyway, so the Kuomintang took over Taiwan and they control it, and they've done bad things to whoever who disagree. Okay, because they want to control Taiwan. So Li Ao, okay, this guy Li Ao, the greatest historian, Chinese historian, he's against. This is not right. This is not democracy. Liao says we need democracy. You government, the Taiwan government is doing dark things. Putting people in prison. No, you cannot do that. So he stand up. He wrote. He stood up. He published books. He got put in jail. Jail for you. Jail. Liao. Okay, jail. And USA is for democracy, right? But what did USA do? Nothing. Nothing. Not a fucking thing. Fuck the USA government. Okay, the government, the USA government, and many ignorant white people, they think they bias. It's a natural bias because you are that. Um, I'm also USA citizen, but however, I have Asian skin, so I have different biases than the typical white American, bias. So anyway, so democracy. So Liao got put in jail several times, 2 3 times, a total of 6 years or something. USA is doing nothing. Why? Because USA wants, USA is in bed with the Kuomintang party. They want to fight China. Who cares about you? Fuck democracy, Liao. He don't care. You see, USA is only doing things for democracy when it's benefit USA. That's what happens. Okay. So that is a story. That is my complaint. Okay, that's my story of Liao, and that is my you could say one of my reason. I'm against the media controlled American USA thought. Okay, democracy, my ass. He fought for democracy. He put in jail. USA did nothing. Meanwhile, okay, I can go on endless. Okay. Meanwhile, USA has this CIA organization split off from CIA because to evade law. Okay, the USA law says you cannot do that. So CIA split into different organizations. They send money to control all the other countries in the name of democracy. Like there's a name. Okay. Anyway, so USA, every day they are chanting, "Oh, China is putting people in, the Islamic people in concentration camps." Okay, I'm going to get banned by Google. Starting to talk about this, media, they are controlling information. So anyway, so the what you hear among typical white Americans, that democracy, this or that, basically it's just media, corporate control. They brainwash you, and with the concept of justice, human rights, right my ass. Okay, basically the end result is that You just help yourself. Help yourself to become more powerful and kill other people, so you get a better life. And the name of that is called democracy and human rights. That is my opinion. For example, USA sent billions of dollars, Nobel Prize winners, Western society, Nobel Prize winning Nobel Prize Peace Award goes to the Dalai Lama, you know, which is a region, a plateau, like 1 mile above sea level, who was controlled by British government, and so on. A big history that I am not going to go into. But anyway, the Western society give him Nobel Prize, and give to Obama Nobel Prize, and give to the what Liu. Okay, Mr. Liu. I'm not going to give the full name. Okay, Mr. Liu, one of the Nobel Peace Prize about 10 years ago in China. Because why? Because he rebelled against the Communist Party. So USA is, the Western society. Why does all this happen? Power struggle. You do whatever you benefit yourself. That is my opinion. Okay, so that's about that topic. So we are in deep waters of politics, um, and that gets me. That's usually politics. When you talk about politics, you get people riled up, including yourself. When you talk about politics. So 40 minutes. So we can do 10 more minutes about mathematicians, weird hermit mathematicians. Let me show you they are the fringe of society. They do not accept, the institutions, the mainstream, the institutions, the system. They do not accept it. But however, many of them are great geniuses and have done great work. Okay, one example is this guy. Well, no, he is considered by many to be the greatest mathematician in the entire history of human animals. Alexander Grothendieck. Okay, Alexander Grothendieck. This guy looks like Obi-Wan. So he's considered by many to be, if we have to pick one of the greatest, it's kind of dramatic to say, you are the greatest in math or something like that, because it's really hard to define what is the greatest. How do you measure it exactly? But anyway, as drama goes, but he's reasonable. One of the greatest mathematician. Okay, that's him, and he lived a life very weird. Okay, he's a hermit. He became a hermit, and he's also a pacifist. He got fired or he quit because he's against Vietnam War. Okay, when Vietnam War is going on, U.S. is bombing, fighting the communists. Among human animals in the century of 19th, it arises two ideology. One is the communism. One is the capitalism. Okay. So these two ideology among human animals, we have these two giant groups who fight, who kill each other, literally kill each other. So I'm on the USA side. Well, physically at least. Then there's the communist group who are led by Russia and China. Okay, so during around, I don't know what was it, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. You have Korean War, you have Vietnam War. So USA is bombing Vietnam, fighting with the Vietnam government. Why? In the name of freedom, democracy. Okay. So when the Vietnam War is going on, this guy Alexander Grothendieck, he he went to Vietnam, to the place where the bomb is going, and he started a conference there, math conference. He went there and started a conference. That's this guy. So he's a pacifist, as you call it, pacifist. He's against war, and Then he become a hermit. He just disappeared one day. After that, then he just disappeared from math community entirely. Not even his close friends know how to contact him. Just put gun disappeared. And it turns out we know he died. He died like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. He died 5 years ago. So it turns out he went to this little village in France. Okay, now actually we have a Wikipedia article of this town in France. This town is called Lasseray Arage. Okay, this is like nobody knows this town. But because now we know he lives there, then people started to create a Wikipedia article on that town. Okay, so it's over here. So he went there and lived there, become he like no, he become as he just went there and lived by himself, and with local people, farmers or whatever. And he is considered the greatest mathematician, okay, in human history. So that's this guy. That's my introduction. Okay, the other guy. This guy I talked about a couple of times. He's a Russian, okay, and he doesn't like the institution. He doesn't like the establishment. Okay, he. So what has he done? He solved one of the difficult problem called millennium problem. Okay, there's a problem by the Clay Math Institute. They created 7 unsolved math problems. That these 7 problems are considered the most important, the most critical problem today. Okay, so this institution created 7 such problems, published it, and they say anyone can solve this problem. You're gonna get $1 million. Okay, 1 million, and this guy solved it, and then the institution is trying to give him the award, with $1 million, and he says no, go fuck yourself. Okay, that's this guy. And he's living in with his mom. There are some videos. Okay, you go to my website, you can see it. You go to my Saw Talk show today. There's a link. You can find it. His name is Gregory Perelman. Okay, he solved this 1 million problem. So he's a hermit. He lives with his mom in Russia. So that's two of the interesting guys. Okay, so let me read the comments. Try to do the Tech Nerd Show in Chinese on Bilibili or Douyu. No politics. I think there is a chance to make some money there also. Okay, yeah，中文很早就是一直想做了，就是没机会。有一个朋友想帮我就去哔哩哔哩去弄一个，但是通常这些网站他要你的那个手机号码，我没有手机，所以没有手机号码，所以有点不方便。主要就是弄这些其实很花费时间的，所以还一直到现在还没弄。所以一直很想弄哔哩哔哩。So 选报 are you so you are on so I was talking Chinese about opening a China video account. China has their own version of YouTube, very popular. One of the website is Bilibili. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so you English speaking people get a glimpse of what's going on in China. Okay, Bilibili. Okay, I don't go there much. Bilibili video. Okay, so you can search that by just type Bilibili video. Very popular. That's a website. Okay, you can. There's also Wikipedia. There it is. So you can read about the website Wikipedia if you want to, and then you can go to the website. So this is a video just like YouTube. Okay, basically this is like a YouTube, China's YouTube, and you guys take a shot. I'm turning on JavaScript. Okay, so Bilibili, So I'm thinking, I want to open a account on Bilibili so I can talk about Chinese. I mean, I can talk in Chinese to my Chinese followers in Taiwan, in China, in Hong Kong, and many other Chinese abroad. So I want to do that. So yeah, so that's Wikipedia about China. Learning a different language is a great thing because once you know the different language, so, for me, for example, I happen to Chinese is my native tongue. Okay, I grew up the first 14 years of my life. I speak Chinese. Then when I was 14, I started to learn Spanish and English. Okay, so English is not my native. So the interesting thing is about languages is that once you know a foreign language, you really can see a lot different perspectives of the world. Okay, it's actually a great thing. Not like oh, in high school everyone is required to take a Spanish class. That doesn't work. Okay, that you have to have an interest in learning a language to talk to people. That's a thing. So and then you learn reading in that language, especially a language that's very different from English. For example, if you want to get into different perspectives, you can learn Japanese, you can learn Chinese, you can learn Russia, you can learn Arabic, you can learn Persian. Okay, not the common German, Dutch, French, Spanish. That's common. That's unthinking. Well, it's still good to learn. Okay, but if you really want a complete different view of the world, of all the things you're gonna relearn them again because their culture, they don't speak English. They're gonna have a viewpoint of view entirely different from yours on everything. Okay, so if you learn, for example, Chinese, you really. Why am I talking about this? Because I was going to tell you, I dug into the Chinese community. I was on a Chinese chat forum, just like Discord. Okay, Chinese has their own versions. So I mixed in with programmers in China for like 2 years every day. Every day I was there for 4 hours or something, 4 hours, 6 hours every day for 2 years. This is around 2004, 2014 or 2015, around there. Okay, so I get to know people. I get to know what Chinese programmers are thinking. What are they doing? What language they use? What and how well do they know English? You talk to them. It's like you dive in and merge, become one with them. You learn. It's quite fun too because you learn. You notice for example, in English speaking world, we have lots of slangs, memes, jargons, 4chan, jargons, memes, a bunch of crazy things. Then you have to go to, the urban dictionary to know what they mean, if you are not in a group. The gamers talk, law, cake, law, cake, and a huge amount of others, hundreds, memes, the frog, Pep the frog, and all that. In the same way, China has their own. So I read and speak Chinese, right? But however, I don't know all these memes. And you look at them, some of them are really, truly, extremely funny. Just like the English ones. You see you kind of see the word. Lots of puns. The etymology, how certain phrase arose. Because maybe because politics. Of course, China has lots of that. The politics they criticize. So you have Chinese their own memes and internet slangs. Lots of that's a lot of fun. And so you dig into, for example, I was when I was in with talking to the Chinese people. So I learned about all these different websites. And I watch them. So you see a different. It's like different. It's not like, oh, this is just YouTube in China. No, it's not like that because the entire culture, the way they talk, the kind of material, their reaction is entirely different from what you see on YouTube. Okay, and that's fantastic. Okay, so you have all sort of things. You have serious things. You have funny things. You have lots of anime stuff. You can, for example, you can learn how Chinese people how they regard Japanese animes. For example, in USA here we know that, oh yeah, so there's these usually young people, we call them weebs or weebo. We have a meme or slang for that, weebo. Then they do whatever, the Japanese pillows or whatever, girl pillows or whatever. So in China they have their own you know talk or their thoughts about bunch of things. So anyway, that's interesting about knowing another language and dive into. Okay, that's what I like. So um, I don't like the mainstream news. I like to talk to people, regional people. You learn things from them, and you don't like. For example, if I have a political question about Chinese people, for example, in USA, we hear every day, oh, China government, they are suppressing, the no freedom of speech and all that crap, total blatant lie, okay, propaganda. You don't know it. So how do I know? You dive into a Chinese community, the people who live in China. You go into there, you dive in, then you see what they talk every day. You see what common people talk every day. Not some fucking China standard news. Okay, not some big corporation China CCTV news. They talk about what their people like. Not that. Not New York fucking Times. Fuck the New York Times. Fuck the CNN. Fuck the MSNBC. All the media, big media. Okay, you want to dive into people, and you look at them, what they talk about. You don't even like, for example, I want to know what do Chinese people, what they think of the Chinese government. I know many of them hate it. That's true. That is true. Okay, but you see, that's not the way to get the answer. You don't go there and ask them, hey, what do you think of the current the leader of China? That's not how you get the answers. If you do it that way, all the answer you get is biased answers. You know, but rather instead you just go there and mix with them, talk about everyday things, whatever they talking about. You chat, then you gradually you pick up what they are actually thinking, the real thing in their minds. So that is what I recommend. So okay, so that is my um, story. The interesting thing about learning a new language and how you actually learn the opinions of other country, things like that. Okay, so are you guys still here? Are we done today? These notifications. I don't want any notifications. I want my life to be controlled by myself. I don't want nothing fucking notifications. Okay, so let's see. I got 16 people here still, and we've been talking for 1 hour now. So would that be it for today? So we talked about two mathematicians who are weird, and these two happens to be successful. These two great mathematicians, they are very successful, and we also have programmers like that. Okay, and some of them, by the way, it's not like everyone. It's not like, oh, if you're just gonna drop out from high school or college and you just study hard and you are gonna be successful like them. No, there are a lot of mathematicians around like me who mop the toilet at McDonald's. You don't hear them. They die a lot. Okay, you don't hear them because all the media, the hacker news, fuck the Reddit, they control information, the Twitter and Facebook. You get just the mainstream thought, the mainstream. You don't get, your thought is totally controlled and you don't even know it. And especially lots of you open source and free software foundation fanatics, you don't even know it. And every day you are just helping Google. You are just helping Google and Facebook. You are helping them become more powerful with your chant about open source, because you don't know nothing about you never thought about anything, because all your opinions are just following the mainstream. Like you go to Hacker News, oh, all the tech, all the nerds are saying this, therefore open source is good. You do, because this happens to you every day for 10 years, for 20 years since you were born. Um, okay, so there are a lot other programmers I want to mention. Some of them I talked to, several of them. They have done great things in math and or programming. But let's see. So yeah. So but I don't know if I should talk about it. I don't know if I should talk for 10 minutes about that or something else. By the way, so there is this guy who is kind of a hermit programmer, and he is also a success story. This guy, George, showed me. So it says, cottage computer programming, Paul by Paul Lutters. So apparently, he lives in a hut, in a forest, something like that. And he wrote the most popular program, which is the Apple Writer. So this is 1990s, early 1990s, Apple Writer, the word processor. So that's interesting. So I was going to talk about, there are a few others. So this guy, we a friend, okay, we emailed each other, over the years, and he died in 2008. It's too sad, but he's a fringe, okay, he's a fringe. He is not your typical mathematician, but however, he has done great discoveries in this particular niche thing. About this thing is called zonal hadrons, okay, zonal hadrons, and his name is Russell Tower. He doesn't even know calculus, because I remember one time we were email each other, because we both program in Mathematica. We write each other, and I was asking him, so he doesn't know calculus, remember? So we have here a mathematician who don't know the basic of modern mathematics, like calculus. He doesn't know it. He doesn't know a thing about calculus. But however, he has done great work in this thing about zonahedrons. There's a Wikipedia. You can go and read about it on Wikipedia. And Stephen Wolfram also wrote a eulogy about zonahedrons, about that guy, Russell Tower. Stephen Wolfram's, the great guy. So he wrote a. I was surprised because I didn't know. Stephen Wolfram knows him. So Stephen Wolfram wrote about his death, and so it was a great read for me. So there it is. This guy, Russell Tower, and he lives actually not far from here, in California somewhere. Yeah, but why? So I wanted to meet him, but back then I was like him. I was like in poverty. Uh, I was, so I never got to meet him. So that's one of the fringe mathematicians, great guy. And there's another guy. Okay, this girl, this woman, Marajik Van Gans, she is in UK. I know her since 1991. We, on CompuServe Math Forum, and she is also a great mathematician, and also she is one of the great expert in DOS. Okay, the DOS operating system and the low level of the Intel CPU at the time. She's a great master of that. And she also died. Kind of. She's these people are loners like me, and like many of you guys. They are loners. So anyway, I learned, she died in 2009. Yeah, one day I just found out, oh, she died. Yeah. And what has she done? She has solved one of the challenge, a math problem, in published by this journal. Okay, published by there is this journal, Siam. Okay, this is a very popular journal. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's popular among mathematicians or engineers. SIAM, Applied Mathematics. Okay, so one day this journal published a problem, and I think there's a competition to solve it, something like that. So she solved it, and she won the prize. Uh, anyway, that's one of another interesting mathematician and programmer. She's also a programmer, and this is her website back then, in 1990s. So anyway, that's some of the mathematicians I know, and there's another one, Ron Avazer. Okay, I know this guy. We also exchange emails quite a few times. In the 1990s, the Mac came with a greatest graphing calculator, which is just graphing. The name is just called graphing calculator. It's bundled with every Mac OS around 1995 to 2001. Okay, before they created Mac OS X. So it's bundled with Mac. But this guy, by the way, he's still around. He's still working on the graphing calculator, because sometimes I get emails from him. So he is another kind of hermit mathematician. Like here's his essay talking about how he created it. By the way, so at the time in 1993, also he was not a Apple employee. Okay, he's actually not an Apple employee. He's just like someone living on the street or something. And he just programmed, and he went to the Apple building. He don't have a badge, but people just let him come. Let him come in. Okay, so that's this guy. He's got great story, and he created this graphing calculator, which is the best graphing calculator ever. Probably to this day. Okay, best interactive graphing calculator. I mean, if you just search that, like search for, you'll find it. Okay, search for his name. He's got pictures and galleries. I'm not going to show. Okay, galleries. Okay, so it looks like that. Okay, it's the best interactive graphing calculator. Okay, he wrote it himself. But it's very sad. In 2002, when Mac OS X came out, they replaced this by another one. They call it graphing calculator, and that is one of the worst crap possible to this day. To this day, Mac still has that graphing calculator. Okay, let me show you. The worst application on the Mac ever, the worst graphing calculator, it's a crap. Okay, this one. Now they call it Grapher. In 2002, Apple replaced that graphing calculator by this one. This is a crap. Okay, no, actually I haven't tried it for 10 years. I don't know if they changed much, but I think it's the same one. Okay, yeah, that logo. Let's see. This is the worst shit possible. So so why did this happen? You see, Apple had the greatest graphing calculator interactively free bundled with Mac. But then when they switched to Mac OS 10, they ditched this. Okay, completely. They replaced it with one that's 10 times as lousy. That is a crap. Okay, it's a crap. Why did that happen? Because, well, politics, institution, structure. When you are a fringe, you have it doesn't matter how great is your software. You can't just get your program to be part of the Mac or things like that. So why is it great? Because it's got interactivity with the most intuitive interface. I have to show you. I have to talk about it to do justice. But anyway, I have an article. Okay, let me show you. Study math. You go to my math blog, and after, so we're gonna talk for 3 more minutes, and that'll be it. Okay, so you go to my math blog. You go to math graphics gallery. Okay, you scroll down, then you go to this article: geometry requirements for a visualization system for 2020. Okay, by the way, before this is written in 2007. So before, it was named requirement for a visualization for 2010. It didn't happen. Then I renamed it to 2020. I don't think we have it yet. We didn't happen. So I'm gonna to change the name to 2030. Requirement for a visualization system for 2030. So what is this article about? Because I do a lot of math visualization programming, so I on this article I tell you what are things we need, and I talk about what is a great user interface, and what are the things we need in GUI, what are the programming framework, the system we need to help us easily create these interactive things for math, for geometry visualization. So this is my essay, my opinion. I don't think to this day we have it. We don't have it. What we have is by this programming nerd fucks like OpenGL fuck. Where you to program a rotating cube requires 1,000 lines and 10,000 hours to understand what are these pipelines and fuck and float textual maps. This fuck. Okay, program created by this C++, this type of programmers, this kernel CPU, the OpenGL, this low level, these idiots. Why they do things like that? Because they have no experience and conception from the math background. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about math. They have no experience. So what they create is this industrial, the C, like the C and C plus are the epitome of examples. They create things such that you have float, you have int, you have this memory management like Rust, the idiocy, Rust, the programming language Rust. Oh, it's fast. Oh, you can control memory. Fuck these people. So they have no conception. They don't understand. They have no experience about math. Okay, so that's why these programmers they create this raw kind of thing, like Unix, like the Unix philosophy. Fuck Unix command line. It's all fucked up. Fuck and Git, like the Git, Git, incomprehensible. Fuck. Why? So they create this type of people. They create things that's like tightly bound to the CPU, like to the every screw, every dip switch of the CPU. That's what they create. Okay, so they don't understand. They don't understand the abstract kind of the higher level CPU or application interface. They don't know. They don't know these things, and in fact, they are against kind of these things because they prefer they want the low level. The more difficult. It's part of the code. The more difficult things are, the better it is. So that's why you have all these people loving Linux, FreeBSD command line. Bunch of crap, incomprehensible shit. That's what these people love. So it creates like Emacs, Emacs and VI, Emacs versus VI every day. You hear it every day, non-stop for 20, 30 years. That is why that is my opinion and my regards to this programmer, this nerd, these hacker types. I despise them. Okay, so anyway, back to this article. So I hear we don't have this system today. We have, then we have OpenGL, we have WebGL today. I know it's easier to use, but it's still fuck. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, so anyway, what I'm saying is that, so I wrote this article which explains, list what things are important, the GUI things we need and the system we need to help us to create this kind of visualization, interactive things. So if you read this article, then you'll understand why that graphing calculator is truly one of the greatest software. Okay, this software. Okay, that is my rant. That is my rant for today. Okay, so let me. Actually, there are a few other people I haven't talked about. Um, some weird programmers. There's one more guy. Okay, this guy. Anyway, um, okay, let me read the comments. We're gonna shut down for 3 minutes. 2 minutes. Alan says, "Do you think hermit's lifestyle is often associated with pacifism, getting away from state gun violence?" Um, yes, it is often associated with that pacifism. That is true. It is often associated with hippies, the hippie movement. But I think those hermit type of people, mostly, I would say half of it is from their genes. It's personality. Okay, it's a personality that create of these people, like me. Okay, it's a personality thing. You were born with it. Different person are born with different personalities, different inclinations. So I think this hermit type are, half of it is because of they were born that way. Well, the other half reason, or the other reason is because, well, like what they say, nurture and culture. So they grew up at the time, with the hippie movement, for example. So that's what I think. Actually, Richard Stallman is one of these type, kind of. And by the way, let's not forget that people are very complex. Okay, so when I say this type, it's kind of general. So in fact, we are, of course, we are sometimes very different. And I know a lot of my followers are like that. We share similarities. So you guys are following me, and especially we can see on Discord, we are, most of us are not mainstream, for sure. Um, so Reaper says, long peace is a term for the unprecedented historical period following the end of World War II in 1945 to the present day. Oh, long peace. The period of the Cold War, 1945 to 1991, was marked by the absence of major wars between the great powers of the period, the United States and the USSR. Such a period of relative peace between major powers has not been documented in human history and since the Roman Empire. Huh. Um, I'm not sure about that. Well, what about the Korean War and Vietnam War? I don't think so. I don't think I agree with that. What about Korean War, Vietnam War, Iraq War? Uh, you know, and yeah. So you are saying, well, it's the greatest long peace. So you are saying from 1945 to today, if you look at history, everything then this period, current, in the past 70 years, is like the most peaceful. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think I agree with that because there are lots of things. I mean, if I'm gonna comment on that, um, first of all, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I don't think. So I don't think, first of all, factually, I don't think it's the longest period of time where we have war. We have less wars. I don't think so. And the second, my second reason is that I think if we look at history today, you see, it's not like we have the longest peace because we cannot start wars today. We cannot start major wars. If we start major wars, it's gonna wipe all of us out. Nuclear weapons. So you could say, oh, it's because well, if it is true that we have the longest peace period in history, in human history, that doesn't mean much because, well, the reason we have longest peace is because we got nuclear bombs all over. One spark and we all dead. You don't call that longest. It's not really peace. It's like, or alternatively, we are already dead 10 years ago. When if the nuclear war happened. So yeah. And also today, because we technology, we can, it's not like in the past when you have war, people go with your knives or whatever, you kill people, or guns, not machine guns, you kill. you know by next year everything is back to normal. Not like today you have all these bombs, and you kill millions of people in mass. So Dion says, once read almost all modern mathematics is based on something that came out of Grubendick's brain. Yeah, I think that's I think that's somewhat true. Okay, I don't I cannot say for sure because actually this guy's work, to understand this guy's work basically means you have to have a PhD equivalent, degree in math to understand his work. Yeah. So yeah. It would be really interesting to have English video that reviews Chinese internet sites. Lots of interesting features that are hard for English designers to appreciate. One of the very interesting thing in this Chinese video site is that they have what you call bullet screens. Okay, like this is very funny. Okay, this is fantastic. Funny. Like if I watch a video, let's see which one to watch. And I don't really, they have lots of, crap, and like all things fly. One thing though, they don't have politics, right? That's true. China, they don't allow you to criticize, the country. That is true, but not like the typical American thing. Okay, but anyway, let's watch them. Let me show you the bullet screen. This is truly funny. Okay, I don't want to install nothing. Wait, why is this refresh? One thing interesting is that they have this bullet screen. Uh, okay, I'm not sure I can play it here. Is it playing? Sometimes some movies you cannot watch in USA because they forbid it. Maybe I have to go to Google Chrome. I don't anyway. So they have basically on YouTube you have comments right at the bottom, but in Japan and China, people can type comments that just fly through on the screen at that moment. So when you watch a movie, you can see all people's other people's reactions, and some of them are extremely funny. So that's called bullet screen. You if you search, you'll find Wikipedia articles about that. Okay, so I think that's it. A lot of game are using different math physics to make the game work. Lots of hack, not necessarily one physics or even. Do you still feel that Java is the devil? Do you still use Closure? No, I don't use Closure. Uh, okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Bye, guys. Buy my stuff and sponsor me. PayPal and all that. PayPal and Patreon and Bitcoin and whatever. On my website, you find the link. Didn't have clipping problems. So clipping problems is why self-driving cars scares me. Goes to show only Carmack would be allowed to write game. Okay, okay, I'm gonna shut down. When I shut down, the comments will also shut down. So bye. Merry Christmas, everyone.